My sister kicked me out of the house she inherited to live with her boyfriend, and now that I've discovered the house was only given to me, she's begging me not to evict her. Since our parents passed away, Anna, my older sister, was all I had. When they passed, I was still a minor and was sick on the day the estate was divided, so Anna went alone to the reading of the will. When she returned, she told me that she had inherited the house but would let me live there as a family. I had no reason to doubt her, and I never thought my own sister, who had never done anything like this before, could lie to me about something so important. She also gave me the money portion of the inheritance, so again, I didn't think she could be lying about the house. We lived together in the house, and for a while, things were fine. I was in college, and Anna had a stable job. Everything changed when Carlos, her boyfriend, came into the picture. At first, he seemed like a nice guy, but he soon showed strange behaviors, especially towards Anna, and constantly tried to boss me around as if I were his child or something. I always made it clear that his orders meant nothing to me, which created a bit of tension between us. The situation worsened when, years later, Anna called me for a serious conversation. She said that Carlos was moving into the house and that they needed more space and privacy. I thought she was going to say I should be careful when entering her room now or something like that because they might be together, but no, she said that to achieve this privacy and space, I had to leave. I was in shock. That was my house too, the place where we grew up. I tried to argue, but Anna was adamant. She said it was for the sake of our relationship and that I should understand. With no other option, I moved in with a friend while trying to balance college and a job to pay my bills. In the following months, my life turned upside down. I was struggling to stay financially afloat while Anna and Carlos lived comfortably in the house that, as far as I knew, was hers. I heard from friends that they were renovating the house, spending the money our parents left us. Each account of the changes to the house felt like a stab in the heart. I felt betrayed and helpless. However, one day, I met the family lawyer at my college. I study law, and he was invited there as a guest lecturer to talk about one of his new articles. He had always been close to us, so he recognized me and came over to talk. During our conversation, he told me something I never expected. I mentioned the situation with my sister, and he was confused, asking why I had given up my house to her. I told him that although it was the house where I lived, it was left to my sister as an inheritance, so I didn't think I could do anything. He laughed and said I was mistaken, that he himself had drafted our parents' will and that I was the owner of the house. Anna had only inherited a country house in another state and a portion of the money. He wasn't practicing law anymore, but he recommended a friend and said I should urgently consult with him. Talking to him, he confirmed that I was the sole owner of the house and helped me start the process of reclaiming it. Meanwhile, Anna and Carlos continued to spend money on renovations, unaware of what was about to happen until they were summoned to court. When the day of the hearing finally arrived, I presented all the evidence to the judge. After reviewing the documents, the judge ruled in my favor since, in addition to government records, the family lawyer also had a copy of the will, and I was officially the owner of the house. Anna tried to argue, but I was prepared. The judge said he could issue an eviction order whenever I wanted, and I demanded that they leave immediately. As we left the courthouse, Anna ran after me, crying and begging me not to evict her. She said she did all this because she feared one day I might change and not want her in the house anymore. She said they had nowhere to go, were out of money because they spent it all on renovations, and even offered to pay rent, anything to stay there. But I was determined and told them they had a week to leave or I would call the police. I told her I would never have kicked her out if she had been honest from the start, unlike what she did to me. In the following days, they tried to convince me in every possible way. Messages, calls, even mutual friends tried to intervene, but I didn't budge. The house was mine by right, and I would no longer be deceived. Finally, at the end of the week, Anna and Carlos left the house. The place was a mess, full of reminders of the renovations they had done without my consent. Many things were broken, which I believe they did out of spite, but I didn't care because I had what was important to me, and I took a week off work to organize the house the way I wanted. During this time, Anna tried to reconcile several times. She sent me messages, trying to explain, saying Carlos had manipulated her and that she never meant to hurt me. Even with a broken heart, I knew I couldn't trust her again, and for all I know, this could be another lie. Now, I haven't had contact with them for a few weeks since I blocked them on everything, but I heard they had difficulty finding a place to live and even lost their car because they couldn't keep up with the payments. Honestly, I don't feel bad for kicking them out because my sister did the same to me, but something inside me still says that maybe I should have forgiven her.